Hundreds more vaccinated or tested during the fourth No Movement weekend. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Monday, October 4th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Hundreds more Grenadians were either vaccinated or tested during the fourth No Movement weekend implemented by the government of Grenada as part of measures to reduce the spread of COVID-19. Teams of medical professionals and volunteers have been going into the various communities over the last few weeks, with encouraging results being recorded every weekend. Mobile testing and vaccination services are also available for those who are not able to leave their homes, as the Ministry of Health seeks to drastically reduce the number of infections and deaths that have occurred over the past few weeks. Meanwhile, U.S.-based Grenadian medical professional Dr. George Wilson is appealing to his colleagues both at home and in the diaspora to give the government and people of Grenada their fullest support as they continue to battle against COVID-19. Dr. Wilson came to Grenada to bury his father, Brother George Wilson, former principal of the St. John's Christian Secondary School, who recently died from COVID-19. GIS spoke with Dr. Wilson on Sunday while he was assisting with vaccination and testing at one of the pop-up clinics in St. Mark. He said seeing that Grenadians had more than 18 months to observe what was happening with the virus globally, he did not expect this level of vaccine hesitancy.
Now the virus is on our shores, affecting, our country, is in our homes, is taking our loved ones. We can see that. Despite all of that, the degree of vaccine hesitancy I have seen is more than I expect. But I hope with time, with getting the message out, with counter measuring the vaccine misinformation that's out there, that persons will realize the need to seek early treatment and also to try to prevent the spread of the virus through enhanced vaccination efforts.
Dr. Wilson also warned against complacency in the face of encouraging recovery numbers, which stands at a total of 4,302 according to the Ministry of Health's COVID-19 dashboard for October 3rd. These statistics show that there are 892 active cases on island, which include 57 new confirmed cases.
We need to not let our guard down. For example, in the U.S., there have been times where we see a dip in the surge and people let their guard down. And when that happens, an uptick follows in the subsequent weeks. And so we expect the pandemic to continue throughout this first wave until it's run its course. It hasn't run its course yet. So until then, we need not to be complacent. We need to keep our guard up, continue wearing our mask, maintaining a healthy distance, avoiding unnecessary gatherings, making sure we're up to date with all of our vaccinations, not just the COVID vaccine, but influenza, shingles, meningitis, everything that's indicated, making sure our chronic health problems are well maintained. Avoiding abusing our bodies through substance abuse, alcohol.
Dr. Wilson also used the opportunity to get his Pfizer booster shot ahead of his Wednesday departure from the island. Minister for Education, Religious Affairs and Information, Honorable Emmeline Pear, says no decision has yet been made regarding the return of students to the physical classroom. Minister Pear, who was a guest on the weekly program Perspectives on Monday, said Cabinet will make a decision under the guidance of the Ministry of Health. Following a spike in COVID-19 cases, the opening of school was pushed to September 20th. Minister Pear assured that government is continuing to monitor the situation, given the importance of ensuring the safety of teachers and students.
We await the guidance, and let me just probably give a hint as to what determines that final decision. Of course, primary is the risks that are related to COVID-19. So when you measure the risk right now, and probably there's cabinet today, so I don't want to anticipate what cabinet would say today. But if you went back as last week, Monday, for example, when you weigh the risk of what is possible, if you are going to send out as many as 30,000 additional persons moving about every day, that risk was too high.
Minister Pay emphasized that the level of immunity from the vaccine will be a plus toward the reopening of school. She said discussions are ongoing with the union body representing teachers on the significant role vaccination can play in the process.
I met with the Grenada Union of Teachers about a month ago, and one of my appeal to them was to encourage teachers, and note my word, encourage teachers to the best of their ability to ensure that they are prepared for the reopening of school. Should we make a decision now as it relates to the opening of school, that teachers would feel far more comfortable and safe returning in an environment, whether it's low risk or medium risk, that level of immunity would give them a level of comfort, a degree of comfort. And it's the same thing for parents. We have been encouraging parents during this period, ensure that you take your children who are within the age for vaccination to get vaccinated, because we believe very strongly that the level of immunity you're going to get from the vaccination is going to be a plus for both teachers and students returning to the classroom.
Continuing the news, the Royal Grenada Police Force has issued 403 tickets to people in the last 3 weeks alone for their failure to comply with COVID-19 regulations. Assistant Commissioner of Police John Mitchell commended the public for adhering to the regulations, citing that the number of those ticketed represents a small fraction of the population. Members of the RGPF have been deployed at strategic locations throughout the island to secure borders during curfew periods and lockdown weekends. During a press conference on Monday, ACP Mitchell gave a breakdown of the number of tickets issued per district over the last 3 weeks.
These are persons, a very, very small sector of our community who violate for one reason or the other. And we would have continued to issue tickets predominantly to these persons. And so I would just give you some of the statistics here. In the northern district which involve Carriacou and Petite Martinique, 10 tickets were issued by the northern district. We have our special services unit, and they are augmenting the central, the western and eastern divisions, and they would have issued a total of 31 tickets. We have the Rapid Response Unit, and the Rapid Response Unit has taken on the brunt of this work, and they have issued in excess of 229 tickets.
The RGPF was placed under stress in the last few weeks after more than 100 of them contracted COVID-19. At least 3 of the officers have died. ACP Mitchell is optimistic that the recovery rate of officers from COVID-19 will see a return to more effective operations.
The recovery rate of the police officers in general has been going very well. We have over 84% of police officers that have recovered. And in that light, I think it sends a good message that we are in a good place as it relates to numbers for law enforcement. And so on this point, I just want to say again to the general public, thank you very much. Without your efforts of cooperation, without your efforts of reporting in inconsistencies, we will not be in this place today.
This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Government, private sector, civil society, academia, farmers, the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry, in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization, invites you to World Food Day 2021, the virtual edition. under the theme, Our Actions Are Our Future. Better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life. Join us October 15 from 9:30 a.m. via Zoom, Facebook, GIS, and Real FM as we recognize and celebrate the many successes of the agriculture sector.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Infrastructure has repaired 2 sinkholes in front of the fish market on Melville Street in St. George's. The sinkholes have not only posed a danger to pedestrians, but also resulted in traffic delays. On Saturday, the Government Information Service spoke with the construction crew tasked with repairing the sinkholes and spoke with Valesta Francis.
We cut 2 hole that 6 by 8 holes and take out the old binding and make a bed and cast BRC, as you could see, BRC and cast it. You understand? Concrete. It had holes and hollow underneath. So we fill it up and ram it, and then we now casting. We put in a 5 inches concrete, understand, and then we'll put the binding after, a chip stone or whatever. Asphalt it when, as soon as they could be able to do that.
Finally, in the news, Grenada is among more than 190 countries being represented at the DUBAI 2020 Expo. The countries will use the forum to showcase art, music, food, culture, and talents. Grenada's pavilion is in the Mobility District with the theme Grenada, enhancing our environment through the movement of our people, culture, products, and services. Consul General in Dubai, Her Excellency Roseanne Benjamin, said she is impressed with the efforts made for Grenada's display. She commends the United Arab Emirates government for their commitment to make the event a success.
Special thanks to the UAE government for making this a reality for Grenada. The government and people of Grenada is very grateful for this opportunity, which we know will definitely enhance our bilateral relations as we focus on Grenada's economy and diplomacy. As Grenadians, we are focusing on the development and growth in the sectors of tourism, agriculture, energy, infrastructure, and manufacturing industry. The Dubai Expo creates a platform for investment and opportunity for growth and connectivity. I would like to take this opportunity to invite everyone to visit, to learn, and to connect. The Dubai Expo is an excellent platform that would create linkages across the world. Therefore, we need to take full advantage of this opportunity.
Minister for Trade, Industry and Consumer Affairs, Honorable Alvin Dabrio, was also present at the opening event and will be present at the Expo for a couple weeks. The theme for the Expo is Connecting Minds, Creating the Future, with 3 sub-themes: opportunity, mobility, and sustainability, each with its own pavilion. The event is scheduled to run until March 2022. That story just ended the national report for Monday, October 4th. Recapping the top story. Hundreds more vaccinated or tested during the 4th No Movement weekend. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.